In today's video, guys, I'm going to go over 10 common mistakes you could be making when trading your video games into GameStop in 2023. Let's get started. What is going on, guys? Jim here with a video today, and today I'm going to go over another GameStop type of video, but today we're going to talk about 10 common mistakes you could be making when trading your video games into GameStop, because GameStop is big when it comes to trading video games, and so if you are trading your games at GameStop, you could be making these mistakes. Maybe you're not, but today I'm going to go over these 10 things that you should really avoid making mistakes with. Before we get started today's video, guys, if you consider hitting that subscribe button, like this video, comment down below by the end of the video which mistake you've made in the past and which mistakes you think you could add to this list. Common mistake number 1, not trading games in at the right time. So this is one of the biggest things on this list today. I'm just going to start out with this. If you're trading your games in randomly, you might be a little upset because there are trading deals, especially right now with the 50% trading bonus or 60% if you're Power Rewards Pro member. If you are trading your games into GameStop and you are getting 50% extra, that is much better than going on a random day like next week or the week before. So if you are going to GameStop and trading your games in, not knowing what deals are going on and just trading them in, that is definitely the wrong thing to do. Do not trade games in unless you know there is a special promotion going on. If you are in need of trading those games in for cash, that's different. But if you are wanting to get more games and better deals, it's best to keep up on GameStop's website, or even call GameStop, or even go to GameStop and find out different deals they have going on, because you do not want to walk in there, trade games in, and not know what you're doing, because that is literally one of the biggest common mistakes I know a lot of my friends and a lot of people probably do, is trade games in with no extra promotion of a deal going on. Make sure you trade your games in this week, because this is the week where the 50 and 60% trading bonus is going on. Got a video right here on the screen. Make sure you check it out. It will definitely talk about that more. Speaking of being a Power Rewards Pro member, common mistake number 2, not being a Power Rewards Pro member is a very big mistake that some people may make when trading games in. Especially if you're going in for the store credit, you're going to be losing a big amount of money if you're trading a bunch of games in. But if you're trading in for cash, it's not really going to be a beneficial thing to that. I think you do get 10% still. I don't know. I'll see the screen right here if there's a cash difference, but if you are trading games in for store credit or games coming out, or especially right now with this 50% or 60% trading bonus, it is very important to be a Power Rewards Pro member, because you are going to get an additional 10% added to that 50% going on right now. And I will give you 60%, which I talked about in 2 separate videos already. This is a very important thing. Now, if you aren't someone who trades games in, or someone that wants a $5 coupon each month, there's no point of being a Power Rewards Pro member besides that. But I think it's crucial and it pays in dividends if you are trading in towards games, or trading in to get store credit, or maybe the VR, whenever the heck that's pre-orderable in the next 10 years probably at this point. But for real, trading games into GameStop, being a Power Rewards Pro member is a key thing. Common mistake number 3, trading multiple games in to try to cheat the system. This is a very important thing. I do not want you guys to make a mistake doing, not by purpose or just by accident. It doesn't matter if you trade 4 of the same games or 3 of the same games in, you are going to get flagged and be suspended for a month. It's so pointless. I've heard so many people get suspended for this. Luckily, I've never done something like this. I've only traded 2 of the same games in, and that is where I stopped. Do not trade 3 of the same games in. It's pushing it. I think it's 4. I really think it's 4, but trading in games to try to cheat the system will definitely make it harder for you to go back to GameStop and get that store credit with these amazing trading deals they have going on. Yes, it is cool to grab a game. If it's $10, you can sell it for $20. I understand some people do that, but trading those games in multiples at a time can get you really blacklisted from the system, and that it can really cause a problem. So I just want you guys to know that it can be a mistake. Sometimes not knowing when trading in multiple games in could be a real big issue. Keep in mind, if it's different systems, I think it's okay, but if you trade 4 Call of Duty Vanguards on the PS5, you are pretty much going to get in trouble with the system. I'm in mistake number 4, waiting for prices to increase during a promotional trade-in value deal. So this is important, okay? Right now, there's a 50% and 60% trading bonus. I sound like a used car salesman right now. I literally keep saying it. Please call GameStop at 1-800. Please trade your games in. It's really important not to wait for a promotional value to end while waiting for a trading deal to go up. I know it sounds confusing. If you are trading a game and that's $27 and there's a 50% trading bonus, like Mario Party Superstars is going on right now, you're going to get $40. If you wait till Friday when the prices seem to go down more, you're going to see way more of a difference when we get towards Friday. I'm calling it right now. Most likely we're going to see a huge dip in trade-in prices because it's going to adjust throughout the week, and that's usually when prices go up at 1 a.m. on Friday or down on 1 a.m. from Thursday into Friday. So Eastern time, by the way. So make sure if there is a game you want to trade in, do it now, because the 50 and 60% trading bonus is really hard to find. They're usually around holidays. They're usually not January 28th and stuff like that. It's just so random, I know. But make sure when you're trading your games in and you see a good price, don't expect it to go up higher later in the week if there is a really good trading deal going on. They're going to catch on to that, and they're going to see a lot of people trading the same games, and probably going to be like, oh, we got a lot of these games traded in, let's just take it and make it lower because we have too many of them in stock. Pretty much seems like when GameStop gets a lot of games traded in of the same games in different locations, they start to lower the price because they have so many in stock. That's why there's a trading deal right now, because the 4 for 20 and the 4 for 40 thing went so crazy and all the games went off the shelves, and now GameStop's like, man, we need more games to sell, so that's why they're doing this promotion, it seems. Common mistake number 5, trading in retro games. Yes, you can definitely take your retro games on eBay, Mercari. I know there's fees and stuff like that, but you'll get a ton more for the games like that on eBay and Mercari and stuff. Also, you can go to different games, local game stores. You can go to Eastarland. There's so many different places. I would recommend trading in retro games before GameStop. Even with a 50 or 60% trading bonus going on right now, make sure you do not take a good retro game, I would say, and make sure you look into it more before you trade it into GameStop, because it could be a really, really bad price. Like, it could be yard sale price worthy. Common mistake number 6, do not trade your 3DS and Wii U games into GameStop that are first party games that are sought after. So I'm gonna really touch bases on this real quick. So I mean, like Game & Wario, what's it, like $70 right now? There's some weird prices on some of the Wii U games. I'll put 3 on the screen right here. Also, 3DS is way more important with this, because you have the Professor Layton games. They're not even they're third-party games, and they're still selling for over $150 a piece. I got some Dragon Quest games on 3DS that are over $100. You got some first-party and strong third-party companies like Level 5 will be the biggest mistake of games you can trade into GameStop, even with a 100% trading bonus, which is double. You can see right here, Professor Layton's what, like $13.20 for the Azran Legacy versus, look at this. I showed this before, eBay, Eastarland. eBay and Eastarland are really showing you the big difference when it comes to 3DS games. GameStop is not meant to trade 3DS games in like this, in my personal opinion. So make sure you do some research and make sure you check the 3DS game prices and go look at other places, because this is a huge mistake that I've made in the past as well. Some of these mistakes I've made as well, but I'm telling you, 3DS games are a big no-no when trading into GameStop. Common mistake number 7, trading in a collector's edition instead of the regular game. So I know trading in some collector's editions right now get you an extra $5 or $10, but think about this. There's some collector's editions that don't even take. An example, Dark Souls 3 is $5 or $2, whatever you see on the screen right here. I can see, and I've seen it before, someone bring the statue and the game and the steelbook and the book and the art book. I've seen it all. I've seen some crazy stuff. People trading that stuff in like it's needed. You do not need to trade any extra accessory of a collector's edition or any steelbook or anything. You can keep the case if you want. You honestly can just walk in there with discs in a CD case, which I don't do, but I'm just saying you can. Realistically, it's what I'm trying to say here is do not trade a collector's edition for the same price as a regular game. It's a big mistake I've seen before. Not as common, but I do want to point that out, that it's very important. Dark Souls, for example, has a very expensive collector's edition, so does Horizon. But keep in mind, there's so many different ways you can look at this. If you go on eBay, you go on, there's so many places you can get more money for these collector's editions. GameStop will give you little to nothing for those extra statues and steelbooks and stuff like that. Common mistake number 8. I think it's very, very important not to trade games in that are under $3. Yes, even with a 50 or 60% trading bonus, I know I've traded some games in recently for that price, but I had them digital. But if you are wanting to get some store credit of a game you beat or something, do not trade them for under $3. I would say under $5, but you can still get some good money for some $5 games that are really old or really bad games, or just games that are just overcrowded and they just got a boost. You never know. But trading games in for under $3 is a big no-no. Any game that's $2, $1, 50 cents, 25 cents, you might as well just say bag of Doritos and a Milky Way and thinking that was a really good trade-off. Common mistake number 9, not checking prices before you go into GameStop itself. Yes, this is a big mistake you could be making, and not checking like the promotions we said before, but this one's actually not checking the prices. The GameStop app on your phone, on the iOS device, on the iPad, or whatever, you can probably do on your refrigerator, who knows, you can check the GameStop prices, all joking aside, on the GameStop app or the website. These prices will tell you what the games are worth. Right now, there is like I said, a trading deal going on, so the games are, some games are significantly lower because of how many games are being traded in at a time, or because they don't want to give you too much for that extra game because it's GameStop, of course. But I think it's really important to trade games in when knowing what the prices are, not going to the store. Sometimes, and most of the time, when you trade games in, they'll literally sit there and just ring the games up and tell you your price at the end. You have to ask the specific question: what is the price of each game? Or you can do that at home. I honestly do it in the store too because they have the weirdest systems there and they might put the wrong game in. It's best to make sure you are working with someone there that isn't from the planet Mars. Common mistake number 10. And the last thing and most important thing is do your research. Overall, just do your research. Make sure you check different stores. Make sure you check different prices. This is a big thing. Doing research when trading games in is a big thing, and it's overall just doing research can really save you a lot of money in the end and making sure you don't make these common mistakes I just went over when trading video games in. Overall, trading games into GameStop is a really, really easy process, and it is a really good one when getting easy store credit, getting more games, getting cash if you need it. But for trading games in, it's very important to know common mistakes you could be making when trading your video games into GameStop, because I hope this video today helped you guys out and maybe making less of mistakes if you've ever made these mistakes. Some people may not even make these mistakes. I have made mistakes in the past, especially trading 3DS games and not even knowing. But yes, make sure you check into your research. Like I said, overall, trading games in the GameStop is an easy process, and it's honestly the best one when there's a trading deal going on. So make sure you look out for trading deals. And the reason why I'm making this video now is because there's a crazy trading deal going on right now. Be sure to check the video over here and over there for more about the GameStop trading process and trading video games and what the 50% is about and stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay also positive, most of all, stay safe. Peace out, guys.